Numbers is a spreadsheet program that you can use on your iPad or on your iPhone. So here it is, the introduction. If you've never used it before, this is what comes up. Welcome to Numbers. Tap the Continue button and we go to the next page. So getting started, you can create a new spreadsheet or you can learn more about numbers. If you learn more, there's an introduction to how Numbers is designed. So welcome, you can learn more about Numbers. These are the basics. So you've got sheet tabs at the top. This, what you're looking at the moment, this introduction, is actually built in Numbers. And these are the sheets at the top. So we've got a tab for each sheet. What that means, you can have several sheets inside one database or inside one worksheet. Undo anything, just shake it. Actually, the undo with a shake works in most applications on your iPhone and on your iPad. So let's go along here, getting around. Let's have a look. We can zoom in by pinch, we can pan across by using our finger. We can create tables, we'll get into that. We can move tables, we can select and move a column, and I'll get into that as well. To edit a cell, you can tap it with your finger. 42 means it's a number. You can put a date and a time. We can format it for text. We can format it for formulas. We can copy and paste between cells. We can type in formulas. Formulas are real easy. And we can create charts. So there's a lot of information here. It's quite worthwhile reading through it and having a look and working with spreadsheets and sharing spreadsheets, view, folders, iCloud, and so on. So let's go back to spreadsheets and we'll create a spreadsheet. So tap the plus button. We can create a spreadsheet. We can copy from iTunes. So let's create a spreadsheet. I'm going to create a blank one, but I'd just like to show you there are quite a lot of spreadsheets here already, and you can use any of these to get started. For example, there's a vehicle log. It allows you to track the cost and time and distance on your car, weight loss, all that kind of stuff, budgeting. Let's start with a blank one. And here's our blank worksheet. We can zoom it in, zoom it out. Now when I tap the worksheet area or the spreadsheet area, you can see I've got this thing. I think it looks like a button, this button at the end, and you can drag that across and you can change the width of your spreadsheet. You can choose how many rows you've got that way. So we can change the number of columns, we can change the number of rows. We can move it around by tapping the white dot at the top left. Tap in any cell and that's what you see, the cell is highlighted. I've just zoomed in a bit. I'd quite like to make that column wider. So I've tapped on that bar at the top, and if I go to where those two little vertical lines are, I can make that whole column wider. Tap there, I can make that column wider, and so on. I need to create something to keep track of my expenses when I'm traveling. So type in there. So I've double tapped, brings up this, the whole screen changes, and it brings up a keyboard if you need it. If you type 42, this is numbers, so your keyboard changes to numbers. Type on the clock and it becomes date formatted, so you can put in dates or times. This is text formatted, and I'm going to write the word expenses. Now I'm going to put in the date. Next, and now I'm going to actually put in a date, and I'm going to put in today. Tap in the next cell, I can put in a description. Hit T and the keyboard changes to text. So I can put in coffee. Next, or tap in the cell you want. Now this cell wants to be numbers, but it also wants to be formatted as dollars. So I've tapped the dollar, and now I can put in how much I paid for my coffee, $4.50. Here, that's a date. And let's put in today as well. So not only did I get coffee, but I also got lunch. And my lunch was quite expensive. It was $12.50. So at the moment it's just keeping a track of my expenses like a spreadsheet, just like a paper document, like a paper book. I can add these up. Total. Now I've spelt it wrong. Vectorworks does my spell checking for me. Really like that. Can leave that out. So that's a number. In fact, what we really want is this to be a formula. So let's equal. And do we have anything that we can use? Oh, there's some. And it's figure those two there. So I'm just going to touch that dot at the top, bring it down. So it's just covering those two cells. Click the green tick and it's done. Now I notice that it's hard to read these columns here, and this column looks like it's cut off at the top. If I put my finger on the bar at the top and I drag it to the right, you'll see you can now read all of the information that's in there. So you can make these columns narrow if you want. You can also move. I've just got my finger just next to it, and what you'll find is that you can scroll across your spreadsheet, but you never lose the headings on the left hand side. Now on the iPhone it doesn't matter whether you rotate it or not, but once you've finished you can go done. Let's go back to spreadsheets and you'll see there's your spreadsheet there, blank one. Let's see what happens when we open our iPad and we have a look at our numbers on our iPad. So here's numbers on my iPad. Let's open that. And if we look at our iCloud, you can see the very same blank one, and it's now updating. So that is just updated from the cloud from my iPhone. So now we can open the same spreadsheet from our iCloud. So tap once, it opens. If I rotate my iPad, you'll notice that it actually changes on the screen. So again, we can look at the same sorts of things. So there's our same spreadsheet. If we hold our finger on that bar at the top, you can slide your columns into each other. And that's in case you've got a very wide spreadsheet and you want to just look at some information, but you don't want to lose your headings on the left hand side. Bit of a typo there which we can fix. And done. So on an iPad, the spreadsheet is bigger, it's easier to work with, you've got a lot more screen space, but any changes you make will automatically update on your iCloud, and you can pick those up on your phone as well. And so you saw it just update it up to the iCloud, so if I open it on my iPhone, it'll be completely up to date.